an expected announcement by President Donald Trump that the U.S. will become the first country to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital has been dubbed a kiss of death for the Middle East peace process by the Palestinians. But an Israeli minister urged other countries to follow the U.S. lead. Mr. Trump is expected to confirm the decision in a speech later. Pope Francis called for the status quo in Jerusalem to be respected, in line with United Nations resolutions. Mr. Trump will also start the process of moving the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The two decisions, which would fulfill a campaign promise and appeal to Mr. Trump's right-wing base, risk a heated reaction from U.S. allies in the Muslim world and, potentially, protests and unrest. They also make it difficult for the U.S. to be seen as a neutral mediator in the Middle East peace process. Israel occupied East Jerusalem, previously occupied by Jordan, in the 1967 Middle East War and regards the entire city as its indivisible capital. The Palestinians claim East Jerusalem as the capital of a future state, and according to 1993 Israel-Palestinian peace accords, its final status is meant to be discussed in the latter stages of peace talks. Israeli sovereignty over Jerusalem has never been recognized internationally, and until now all countries have maintained their embassies in Tel Aviv. The issue goes to the heart of Israel's conflict with the Palestinians, who are backed by the Arab and Islamic worlds. The city is home to key religious sites sacred to Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, especially in East Jerusalem. Since 1967, Israel has built a dozen settlements, home to about 200,000 Jews, in East Jerusalem. These are considered illegal under international law, though Israel disputes this. If the U.S. recognizes Jerusalem as Israel's capital, it will put it out of step with the rest of the international community and reinforce Israel's position that settlements in the East are valid Israeli communities. Trump administration officials said recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital was an acknowledgement of historical and current reality by the U.S. government. However, specific boundaries of the city would remain subject to a final status agreement, the officials said. The status of holy sites would not be affected. Mr. Trump would also direct the State Department to begin the process of moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, but this could take several years as it still has to be designed and built, and security concerns would need to be addressed. The U.S. officials added that the president would still sign a regular waiver blocking the embassy's move from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem until the new building was completed. Successive presidents have signed waivers on the grounds of national security for the 1995 Jerusalem Embassy Act, which mandates moving the embassy. The Palestinians' representative to the UK, Manuel Hassassian, told the BBC that the changes to U.S. policy on Jerusalem amounted to a kiss of death for the two-state solution in peace efforts and were like a declaration of war. Israeli Education Minister Naftali Bennett described it as a big step towards regional peace and said other countries should move their embassies too.